You know you're a community manager in this?
I did not. Hey, everybody. We know we're a little bit late. I don't even know how late we are. Yeah, but don't people sometimes watch this
Hmm.
later? Okay, so I'm talking. We're starting past 4:20.
Well past 4:20. It's 4:45.
Oh my gosh, people probably think we were skipping for today, but we weren't. We were sitting right here planning on going live when I inadvertently spilled my tea all over the desk here at Gussy and Grymm Central,
At 4:20?
right at 20. And, it's the second time something like that has happened right here.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. It's the second time. Remember the other day we broke our,
Oh, that's
and that was
right.
sitting right here, and we don't even know how that happened either, because that just
That
like,
just jumped.
right. And the same thing with this glass. It just, I mean, I don't even remember hitting it or see, just weird. It just went everywhere. So we're a little bit late. Sorry about that. We had to rescue the computer and the keyboard and the mouse and all the other gadgets and books and things that we have all around our desk.
And
Crystals and cards and
what's funny is the puddle of tea kind of went back behind the computer and you found that hard drive back there. The tea went around it and just got the very corner.
oh
It was
really?
sitting in a circle of wet tea.
Well, the other thing about this, I have to look at it from like a magical standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you are. But I've been thinking and thinking about there's a project that a friend of mine started years and years ago. Gosh, probably 15 years ago
I
now.
know where you. I think I know where
And
you're going with this.
she always
Oh,
intended to publish the book. And I,
oh,
myself and Christine, we were both helping her like round out some of the chapters and round out her thought process on it. And it was really quite a wonderful thing. And then she got into a very, very desperate car accident. And it's like our lives have been weirdly tied together, isn't it?
hmm,
But I've been thinking about kind of getting all of those files back out and resurrecting the work that she was doing back then.
and this
Um,
was a while ago.
right. And she's still alive. She is still alive. So I'm going to contact her. But she also is,
Full-time assistant
yeah,
care.
yeah, she has, she was a wonderful, wonderful spiritual mentor and sister of mine. We we helped each other a lot. I helped her see the more magical, witchy side of things, and she's helped me see the more practical, energetic side of things.
I didn't get a chance to really get to know her. My interactions prior to her car accident were very limited.
Right.
Um, I think I'd only known you for just a short amount of time when you introduced me to her.
Yeah, I don't think we'd been together. Well, no, we'd known each other for a
We
year.
had known each other, but and once I came to Michigan, I think I only interacted with her a small
Oh
handful
yeah,
of
it would have
times.
been just a few.
But what I can say is from the first meeting I ever had with her up until the day she had her accident,
Hmm.
she was one of the most radiating, light bearing persons I've ever
Yeah,
met
she
in my
really
life.
was. She really is. She is. I'm sure
Yeah.
she still is. We haven't really lost touch, but she doesn't text or call or anything. And she couldn't remember who I was for a while. So I sort of just politely kind of backed out of the picture. And, but it's funny because the things that have broken and spilled recently, what was buried behind the computer was my file full of notes about this
Her
thick.
book.
And so I'm like, maybe that's a sign, like, because it was really
And it
helpful in
didn't get
healing.
wet?
A little bit of it got wet, but just mostly the folder.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So we got some folks here today. We got Naomi's joined
Hi,
us. Of
Naomi.
course, Brandon's here.
Hi, Brandon. I didn't listen to your text message yet. I got to tell you. I just haven't had a time to listen to it yet.
Victoria's here with us, Victoria Williams,
Hi,
and then
Victoria.
Angela Turley. I just sent you an email.
Got your hat on, lady.
Michelle's here.
Hello, hello,
Christy Green
Michelle.
is here.
Hello, Christy Green.
And today's topic is what you are and what you are not.
Yeah, boy, before we get into this topic, Grim, I wanted to just do a little bit of grounding with everybody. And do you have can I have that? Um, so bear with me. I'm a weed witch, and it is 420-ish tarot. So hold on one second. I want to do some grounding together because it feels that there's so much, God, and I feel like I've been saying this for like 5 years straight. There's so much going on in the world and so much coming out in the world. It's wonderful when I encounter some of my sisters and brothers out there that are like actually kind of swimming through this muck and getting there, getting things accomplished. There are a number of you who I know have taken the the effort and the focus on switching your lives toward the better, towards something better and more settled for yourself.
and
Because
and not allowing other people to define what better means for you. It's people deciding what's best for them. That's the cool part.
that is happening. But I don't know. I'm talking more about. Well, yeah, that's true too. I just wasn't thinking in that direction. I was thinking more like I'll just say it here. There's somebody I'm really proud of because LJ, I don't know if you're out here with us. I didn't think I saw your name come across the screen this afternoon. You probably think we're not live today. But um, I read a post that you wrote about yourself the other day, or maybe it was yesterday. Timey-wimey, that part doesn't stay clear for me, but it was recently. You had written a post that said that you were so excited because you felt like you were finally getting some things under control and you kind of took back your sacred space. And I know that is such a huge step for a lot of people because when we start getting overloaded and things are weighing heavy on us, just like the arts are the first things that get cut out of this public school system, our spiritual stuff is the first thing that gets cut out when we are really feeling depleted. And the unfortunate part about that is just like with school and the arts, that's the part that shouldn't get cut. Like keeping the arts intact and teaching through, I mean, that's man's oldest form of communication. So, like, let's
Art came before the written language.
art and music, man, that is it. Self expression, and talk about a direct connection to the divine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of going off on a different tangent there, but um, there's just been so much of all of that recently, and I know that we've been asking for lights, or sorry, I'm sorry, shadows to be brought to light. We've been saying that which no longer serves us on why done one, release, release. I know this. I expect this. Well, and I don't like to say dark, but it isn't light. I mean, because I think about dark more than just a color. Dark isn't a color or a lack of color or lack of light.
Mm-hmm.
Dark is a heaviness too. There's a darker denseness to it. That energy
Yeah,
is.
if you're going to remove it from the light spectrum, dark and light and just put it into an energetic vibration. You're
Right.
exactly light energy is exactly that, light. It's and dark energy is heavy and repressive. It's not a color thing.
It's not a color thing. And that's where fear, grief, sadness, uncertainty, hunger, start talking about some of the feelings that people are feeling that are going through traumatic weather circumstances or traumatic political and social unrest. I mean, that's like such a huge part of our world right now
Mm-hmm.
is this is all
Mm-hmm.
circulating out there. So I don't need to bring that more into focus. I just need to shut up and just close my eyes and ask you all to close your eyes too and just take a few deep and cleansing breaths. If you find yourself, holding in your stomach right now, a lot of us hold our stomachs. I don't know. We hold our stomachs in.
It's a tension that we carry in our guts that
Well, there's a lot of trauma held there,
there is.
a lot of shadows held in the guts. And if you're one of those people that's been having a lot of digestive issues, um, that is where a lot of uh, sexual trauma is centered. That's where a lot of those gut wrenching, you know, heartbreaking moments in your life get stored. The energy gets stored down there, the real traumatic stuff.
I think that's where
It's down in our root.
the phrase, my heart dropped into my stomach.
Never thought about that, but that's very true. So keeping that in mind, let's just like release, let your tummy feel like it's releasing. Don't hold on to that energy right now. And as a matter of fact, as we go through this at the moment, if you're able to close your eyes safely, close your eyes and just focus for a minute on your toes. Feel them touching the floor if you're sitting on the floor or standing or feet on the floor. I always think it's best to, as much as possible when you meditate, I know they always show the guy crisscross applesauce or whatever, but I like to start without my meridians crossed. So I don't cross my legs when I meditate. Um, I, don't cross my arms unless I mindfully choose to do it, is what I'm trying to say. Keeps everything kind of in its place.
If I'm sitting crisscross applesauce, as you put it, I'm drawing on my own internal energy. I'm creating an infinity
You
loop
are.
within myself. So with those meditations, I will cross my meridians and allow my own energy to guide the meditation. Other than that, I think you're right. Sitting open and relaxed.
Tiny problem.
What's
I used my Kleenex to clean up most of the tea.
that?
Susan, I had my tissues here. I promise I did. Oh. Okay. While Grim is retrieving me some, as he calls it, nose blow. That's what he calls it. Thank you, sir. Perfect. I want you to get settled. Find yourself a place to sit. If you're sitting with your legs crossed, that's okay. No rules here on that. I'm just saying that for me, it works a little, and I think, like Grim was saying, the energy isn't getting kind of recycled in your space. It's more of like a conduit running through from space to the root of the earth. You know what I mean? Like back and forth. We're an open conduit. So let's close our eyes if you can. I'm going back there. I hope I don't sneeze again.
It's kind of like alternating current.
Yeah, alternating current. Yeah, yeah. You're right. Same with breathing in and out, right?
You're right. That is an alternating
It's
current.
an alternating current.
The tides are an alternating current.
Gravity.
Gravity is an alternating current. Wow.
Wow, we have our own topic. We
All
weren't even planning
vibrations.
on
All
all
vibrations are
vibrations.
alternations of ups and downs.
Yep. That's why when people send me a text and say, or I'll see it online sometimes, people will say, I'm sorry, I've been so quiet lately. I've just had a lot on my mind or whatever. It's like, you don't need to apologize for that because We all have those moments of waxing and waning, just like the moon. We are no different. Our energy is, we're from the stars. We're stardust. We're made from all of the things that the, and feel your ankles, right? Feel your ankle bones, your muscles there, calves a little higher, knees.
Really work your knees. That's where a lot of us get hinged up in our movements is our knees. So as you flexed your toes and rotated your feet and tightened your calves, we're drawing energy up from the ground. And let's use some of that energy that we're drawing from the ground to reconnect our knees. It's not just our feet that need to be connected. We need to be connected in the line from top to bottom. So let the
Mm-hmm.
energy of ground focus on those knees for a moment.
Remember to continue to breathe. Inhale deep breaths of calming, healing, peaceful energy, centering, rejuvenating energy. Take that time for yourself. On every out breath, you're releasing the molecules, the energy, the unnecessary. It's a waste byproduct for you. Your body doesn't require this energy.
But it's
So,
rejuvenation for the universe.
so you're sending it on to be recycled into the universe.
And as you take in your next full deep breath, send it to your legs, your thighs.
Tighten
Tighten
them.
those thighs. Force the breath into it. Squeeze that breath into the very fibers of your muscles. And then exhale. Relax those leg muscles. You're
Yes.
sitting now in your seat and you feel the tension of your body upon your rump. Tighten that. Flex your butt muscles, your hip muscles, move around, rotate, and put some strain and pressure on there and find where the hurts are, where the uncomfortable hitches are at.
You feel some pain, take a deep breath. Send the breath right to that spot. Release the tension in that area, letting the muscles relax, letting every fiber relax, letting the energy do what it needs to do in that area.
Now we're into our core, our stomach, our place of grief and trauma. That part of our body that holds on to the vibration of hurt and pain. Feel that now. Tighten those muscles. Make your stomach muscles move. Move around in your seat some. And just below your stomach, just below the belly button, is that sacred triangle, that sacred balance of divine that is common to all of us, regardless of gender. And that's where we hold some of our most deeply rooted, going back generations of pain. Tighten that sacred place. Feel it. Draw your breath in deep and full and send it to your stomach, into that sacred space right now. Hold it there. Feel the universe cleanse it of those pains and hurts and traumas, not just yours, but those that were handed down to you through the generations. Into our chest, our heart and our lungs,
Ribs,
ribs,
arms as an extension.
your shoulders. We spend our day not conscious of our breath, and we don't realize this, but as we breathe, we only breathe in so much at a time. And we become acclimated to the small breathing that we do throughout the day, the unconscious breath.
We hold our breath a
We
lot.
hold our breath a lot. Some of us don't inhale as frequently as others, and others will take in a breath and hold it. These are unconscious things, so let's be conscious of these breaths now that we're going to draw into our lungs, expanding them full, stretching the rib muscles out, expanding the space between the ribs, giving room for the heart to flex and move, to find a new space to settle in.
Wriggle your wings. Don't forget they're back there. A lot of you know they exist. We just forget to connect with them. Make sure you unfurl them from time to time. Stretch those muscles as best you can.
And onto our head, our face, our upper neck,
Neck.
our throat, all of these places
Two.
that become confined because we can't speak our truths. We can't say the words that we need to say to show the world how we honestly feel. We swallow our words and they get lodged in our throat and we become constricted. And through that constriction, our mind says we can't get the words out, why speak it? Open up that area right now. Feel your voice strong, crystalline, pure. And the reason your voice emanates from here is because it's between the point of logic and love. It is that place of balance that allows you to take the words from your head, mix it from the emotions of your heart, and say them out to the world in a way that is truth and love and meaning. Speak your truths. The more often you do, the less vitriol will escape.
All of that constriction, holding back words and thoughts and feelings.
Right behind each ear, you're going to find a small protrusion of bone just at the hinge point of your jaw behind your ear. If you press on those in moments of meditation, what it does is it brings your mind to a focus and it allows you to direct the energy of your entire being. This is where we get locked up. This is where we lose our true ability to speak and where we stop hearing. Move those muscles.
You know, as we get into the muscles on the top of the skull and around the ears and what, it's not as easy to, clench those. You can make faces, and that helps. But I found, like Grymm was talking about the pressure points, but also tapping helps a lot.
That
Just
tactile.
don't tap too hard, but just break up some of the energy, some of the congestion that you might feel. Remember to breathe. Remember to let the air flow in and out, back and forth. It's an exchange.
We are not a closed circuit. Everything that we bring into our body passes back out of our body. There's no need to retain any of it because nature says we're not supposed to. And that's not just the physical foods that we take in, that includes the air and the water and the energetic vibrations that surround us all.
A lot of people think, Grymm, that they have to hoard these things,
Yes.
that they have to hoard them. And I'm not talking about not being prepared as in prepping for, disasters or whatnot, but I'm talking about energetically. A lot of times we think we need to take this stuff in and hold on to it. Now we're finally getting around to the topic that we were going to talk about today. And by the way, blessings to all and everyone out there. I know
that was a longer than usual.
Yeah, and I didn't go through my sacred script that I normally do, Mother, Father, God, Goddess. But I know that you know that we're in this space together, this liminal space that we gather, and we're truly. I don't know. I don't know where I was going to go with that because now I'm arguing with myself. I should just take the time, shut up, and just say, Mother, Father, God, Goddess energy, I call upon you. I call upon your connection to us here. Each one of us on our sovereign journey, each one of us remembering to take those mindful breaths, each one of us taking our next best step. But as we draw our connection to that divine energy that we're all connected to, we realize as we let go of our shadows and let go of our baggage, we realize that each step gets a little lighter. Each step gets a little easier. There's not quite as many traps. You don't get caught up in the emotions quite so much. Things feel smoother.
For many of us, when we get to that state of connected and ground, we forget that a lot of that grounding is the weight of our own hurts and pains and traumas holding us deep into the ground.
That's gravity.
That's gravity. That is weight pulling you.
So allow yourself to connect to that divine energy. Allow yourself now to call upon the ancestors that protect us. Those of you that call upon angels, spirit guides, any gods or goddesses that we honor, that you honor. We call all of those energies here now, the plants, animals, and crystal allies that are here in service to us and in gratitude and really in a symbiotic relationship with us. There's no one on top. We're all interconnected.
If we're all on top, that also means that we're all on bottom. That means we're all doing this together.
May the words that we say be the words that need to be heard, and may they be heard clearly and with understanding. I know something will resonate with you today, if it hasn't already. May we carry this peace that we're feeling here forward tonight into our homes, our families, our communities. May we remember at 9 p.m., Pause for Peace is building up some energy, and that's such a beautiful thing. Help us, Spirit, to remember all of these things, these moments of everyday magic that replenish our soul and keep us energized. Help us to continue to see these small miracles. They're there every day, every moment. And so it is. Boy, I honor that energy so much. I just, you know, the protection that we receive, I mean, that's something that we constantly have to kind of refresh. But it really has changed our lives so much in the past, well,
Since it started.
since it started. But
I want to, before we move into the topic,
yeah,
I want
talk to some people.
well, I want to point out that it's 5:15, and I don't know what
Oh
time
shoot,
that perspective.
6:30.
6:30.
We've really been going for a
Yes,
long
we
time.
have.
Well, then I'm going to say this
Hi,
to you.
Sabrina, Jane, Constance, I think, and Christy Green. I think those are the last ones that I've seen pop in
I
to
wanted
say
to,
hello.
I wanted to pull. Oh my goodness, I got tea on this deck.
And they don't make that deck
No,
anymore?
they may still make it, but it's been with
It's been
me.
since I've known
I
you.
mean, it's one of the last vestiges of that first round of spiritual tools I lost.
Yeah.
Long story. But I had this deck with me, and so it's been with me since.
Yep. I feel you.
So I don't want to lose any of the cards, and I don't want them to be wet. But anyways,
Which you are and which you are not.
I'm gonna pull one of these cards because they're power thought cards. I have used these before. It's interesting. I was so drawn to them today. I was like, I have to use this deck. They're just words about uplifting words about everyday living, things that a lot of us think about or take for granted, or let weigh too heavily on our hearts, or don't think about enough, or try to shove under the carpet or whatnot. It solidifies that we're on the right path. And Louise Hay is the author of this deck. I'll show you the box, by the way. I've shown it to you before. Power Thought Cards, Louise L. Hay. Louise is long gone, but she was a pioneer in the area of correlating parts of our body and the different traumas that they're associated with. You've heard me mention her before, and if you're part of our Root and Read mentorship you'll be hearing about her again because it's someone who I work with quite a bit. Her,
Kind of the foundation,
yeah,
a cornerstone.
one of the cornerstones. So the whole, and I've talked about it before, but for those of you that are new, the whole correlation is that, or the whole idea is, can't even think, is that let's say I've got an injured hand, okay, and let's say I injure it and I injure it a couple times and I go, wait a minute, I keep injuring my hand. Why? What is it about this? So I look it up because Louise Hay has done a lot of work on this, and I can discover what energy
Emotional.
or emotional repression is going on, right? That would have
Ah, how many times have I had stitches on my head?
incidentally, left hand and right hand have to do with male and female. So you might want to do a little research on that because that's always interesting. Because I felt some of you go, yeah, I've hurt my hand a lot lately. So you need to research the energy of the right and left hemispheres. Research about that a little bit on your own. But let's see, which one do you want me to
I
pull?
don't know. Those are the two that didn't want to.
Okay,
Oh, there's three.
well, this is the one.
Okay.
And I dropped it. I love this card. It says, I claim my own power and, and I lovingly create my own reality. I claim my own power and I lovingly create my own reality. On the back of the card, it says, I ask for more understanding so that I may knowingly and lovingly shape my world and my experiences. That's a good card. I'm going to keep that one out for today.
What you are and what you are not kind of applies to that.
It does. And I'm going to,
I've been struggling with that title that you gave today, and but since we started talking, I've been letting it percolate in the back of my head.
yeah.
And
Well,
then that popped in, and it kind of resonates with what I was thinking. So go ahead.
well, I have had one of those days where, as an empath, and I'll be more specific, as a healer, when you are on a journey with someone to help them with their shadows and help them understand more clearly. They come to you with questions about their spirituality. They come to you with questions that they don't understand, and they will hopefully begin, applying some of the ideas and thoughts that we have shared over the years that you all know about, switching our perspective, allowing ourselves to see things and function
We've
from a
opened up the
higher vibration.
toolbox.
Right. It's, yeah, we've got the toolbox in front of us. It's just a matter of picking up the tools. But I've recently been encountering quite a few people that, um, well, I'll be honest. I've been encountering a lot of people that have really tried my patience with their lack of empathy, their lack of, I don't even know how to say this without shooting myself in the foot.
Well, can
I'm,
I can I kind of jump in real quick?
well, jump in. You're
Jump in.
Jesus.
I think, but just from my perspective and my point of view, what's been trying your patience is what I wanted to say. Maybe that'll help you. Over the years, there have been multiple people in our lives that have come to us for various reasons, for friendship, spiritual advice, business relationship, whatever the scenario is. At some point in that relationship, shadows become exposed.
Hmm.
They discover some of our shadows, we discover some of their shadows. And at that moment, we're given an opportunity to see if we can make those shadows work well together or if we're going to be constantly beating each other up. You and I have a commitment to trying to find ways to navigate the shadows.
We try to help people. We're way showers, so we hold the light
Yep.
while they struggle, and we even though they can be um, disgruntled with us, and even insulting at times, we will still hold the light,
We will still hold the light.
and we will still say, they're going through this, it's a process. And a lot of times you've heard us say that people will come back and apologize or say, I don't know why I acted the way I did. And we always completely understand
Welcome
because
back.
we've been there.
Yeah.
But
Still there.
I find myself now that more and more people are awakening, I'm finding myself with less and less patience for the people that are just beginning their journey. I'm having such a hard time.
Just beginning their journey are the people that are swatting the light out when you try and show it to them.
That's a much more accurate way.
Yeah, they kick the toolbox over and say, "Kiss my
Or
ass."
yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
don't understand. I'm tired of giving my energy to people that, all I'm doing is trying to convince them of making their life better. That's up to them. Like
Not even
I'm
convince them, just holding the light
I'm
bulb up.
done being that person that will just stand there as a punching bag while people figure their shit out. I am committed to, and I'm passionate about healing people. I'm passionate about helping people. But it's like, when are we going to move on? Our world is evolving
Mhm.
to another dimension. We're in the process of that now. Some people say we're already there and we're just adjusting. But either way, however you look at it, it's time to level up. It's time to move on up. And if you're still having the same arguments, the same situations with someone, it's the same pattern,
Cut the
the
cord.
only way, nothing changes unless nothing changes. I mean, you've got
I'm
to make.
sure, I am so positive, I can guarantee this. 100% of the people that will watch this live stream, either now or down the road, has a relationship in their life that is toxic and just constantly, no matter how you try, it just turns toxic again.
Yep.
Give yourself permission. And the reason you keep going back, the reason you keep going back to that toxic situation isn't because you enjoy the toxicity. You love and enjoy the person
Yeah.
behind the toxicity.
There's part of that. Yeah, absolutely. You
So it
love that. Yes.
so instead of trying to fight through the muck to get to the person that you love, cut the cord. That's a vibration between the two of you that doesn't need to exist right now.
Oh,
Bear with me.
I'm bearing with you, but choose your words
I
because I don't cord cut
I,
much.
I cut the cord on that particular vibration between the two of you. Okay, but what I was going to say is
Hmm.
cut the cord, separate yourself from that person. The physical bonds, the emotional bonds, the psychic bonds, whatever you need to do. But don't take the end of the cord that you just cut off, your end, and throw it away. Leave it out there, dangling, because it's still you. It's still a piece of you, your piece of energy that is connected to them when they're ready to send a new tendril out. And hopefully it's a better bond between the two of you at
I'm
that point.
sorry, Graham. That's lovely, and we've said that so many times, but I'm really in a different frame of mind right now.
Holy shit, because
I
I've been the one that says take the
Shut up.
loppers
I
to
want
it.
to talk. Let me talk.
Okay.
I I am years ago I got that message that I'm a teacher of teachers,
Uh-huh.
and that has come through time and again in numerous ways and is supported, and I understand that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
But I am not, and you are not, intended to put up with someone's darkness and bullshit just because that's who they are.
I would never say that.
I I didn't I know.
Okay.
I I say we should accept people like they are. We should take them for what they are. We should let them be who they need to be. But if you don't see growth and you don't see change and you aren't happy in the situation, I'm not saying like, divorce the person or move on or whatever, but I'm saying like Grim said, separate something, separate the energy, somehow put a stop to that, make a change, flip it around somehow. You are not responsible for healing every person you know. as an empath, I can feel like I am responsible for every person that reaches out to me in a text message. And grandma agrees, I guess. But I know this doesn't sound like me because
It does, and it doesn't.
I'm usually, oh, but we always try, blah blah blah.
Well,
But I'm just at this point, like, we've already reached the tipping point, and we're already tipping. Let's just tip.
so what you're
Like, get
basic,
on, get
what you're,
on the boat, or get the.
our backs are up against the cliff.
I'm tired.
Socially speaking, our backs are up against a cliff. And really, the only people that I want standing alongside me in that struggle to push ourselves away from the cliff are other people that are pushing us backwards. With that said, I think we still believe in
Community.
community, but relationships are no different than
Relationships.
math in so many different ways. Math is a formula. 2 plus 2 is 4. Regardless of how you try and juggle it, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Same thing in relationships. I and her equal us. And if I don't like how 2 plus 2 equals 4, and I don't like that 4, I can only change one aspect of the formula to get a different outcome. I can't ask Gussie to change who she is as a person just to fit me because I
Why don't
want
you
a
come
different
into the
outcome.
screen? Yeah, because we can't expect other people to change, and a lot of times we get into relationships thinking. I mean, it might not even be a conscious thought, but we think, oh, he does that, and I hate it when he does that, but I can overlook it, or you know, it'll change once he sees this is how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women have this idea that you know, and we've been taught,
Well,
you run your household, you keep everything together. And ooh, somebody didn't like that. I felt that one because that's not how I feel either. Truthfully, I don't feel that way.
well,
But
I
that's
think
how
what
we
ends
were
up happening,
raised,
but what
my
ends up,
generation.
yeah, but what ends up happening, I think, and we went through this in our own relationship, in our own marriage at one point, is we were leading into our shadows so much that the toxic soup was just horrendous. We were toxic together
Right,
for a minute.
right. We didn't get divorced.
No,
We didn't end up even really spending a night apart. But
I'd get in the car and I'm leaving, come back 4, 5, 6 hours later. But
the thing is, I think as empaths and as
well, I
healers.
wanted to finish my
Oh,
thought
I'm
there really
sorry.
quick.
Well,
But the reason that we were able to get past that is one of the two of us had to break the cycle that kept tightening that spiral of toxicity up.
right. But can I move past
Yes,
that?
yes,
Because I
yeah.
don't want to. I'm saying I'm tired of those same old lessons. I've been
It's time to,
telling,
yeah.
it's time to move on, folks. If you haven't picked this one up yet, then you're not on this boat. Like, you gotta figure out what we're talking about here, because we need to move up to the next level of understanding. We've been saying a lot of the same stuff, and you are not meant to heal everyone. And it took me a while to figure that out, because I am in there
Yeah.
for the win. I want all of us to awaken. I want all of us to experience a lighter heart, a happier life. That's what I want. I want us to have a spiritually uplifted life.
But if they're going to be on the roller coaster ride with you,
Yeah, and I mean, I'm on my own roller coaster enough when I've got people that are just not moving forward. And I hope you're not out there right now going, "Oh my God, she's talking about me." Because I don't really have anyone in mind.
it's patterns that you're seeing, not just with yourself, too, though. You're hearing this from other healers, other way showers, other readers. A
There are
lot of it,
even readers out there. I'm scared about this. There are readers out there that will reach out to me
mm-hmm.
that when they offer advice, I am like, fuck, healer, heal thyself. Like, how can you offer advice to people when you're so clouded and dark yourself? And not willing to understand it beyond where you are. Not you. I'm
I
talking
know.
about there are that happens a lot, and I've had a lot of feelings about this, as you can clearly tell, and I'm glad I got to share it with you. I hope I don't get canceled for being a negative Nancy.
Huh.
But I'm
No,
just
no, it all falls back on this is We can tell ourselves all day long that we're trying to build a community around us, not for us, but for the benefit of creating something that is beneficial to everybody that
And so
participates in
we're
it.
not afraid of being our spiritual
Right.
selves out there,
Yeah.
not hiding in the shadows anymore, not out there like,
Yeah.
I don't need to have parades and
Yeah.
flags and things, but I mean, like,
But the
being
fast,
okay with how we feel about God, Goddess, and the rest of the world accepting
yes.
us.
Hmm. I'm kind of set aback right now because for the last how many years have we been together? You've been the one telling me, no, just give them a chance, give them a
I
chance, give them a
know,
chance.
I know. I'm always there for the underdog, but there's a lot of underdogs,
Well,
and a lot of them aren't. They don't want to help themselves. They don't. And I'm not
well,
saying
you,
that I send out flyers. Come, you know, heal yourself. I don't. You guys know that I don't
but
really
I
advertise
think
like
you've
that.
realized this over the last month and a half, 2 months. You've made little comments here and there that it's hard to be there for the people that are trying when I've got so many people that aren't trying.
Yes, yes. I've got people that are trying, and they try, and they're working on themselves, but I have to give so much energy to these other people that just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm saying that, but I'm telling you, I was in a bad marriage for years, and I kept repeating the same mistakes over and over and over. Different scenario, different set of circumstances, but the same thing over and over until I finally realized that, he and I both realized that this was not a positive situation. So, well, he didn't, but that's
Not at
another.
first.
Now he does.
Now the friendship that you guys are developing is something special.
That is really true. That is really true. Anyways, I know you guys aren't used to me kind of going on about now. I'm feeling
It's time to shit or get off the pot.
it is. It's time to start lighten up your life. It's time to start doing the things you've talked about doing. It's time to actuate the actions that you've been dreaming about for so long.
And we've lived
It's
in a
time to start living your life, not just dreaming about it anymore, but actually living it.
we've lived in a society for the last I'm not going to try and put a time frame on it. I just know that globally speaking, the society we've lived in has built in repression, regardless of who you are on the spectrum of sexuality, political speaking, religion, spirituality. The system has got built in repression because they're demanding of our time and our energy to propel an economy forward. It's time to say stop because so much of that
Mm.
is what contributes to our shadows. So much of that is us trying to interact with a muggle world while at the same time repressing who we are as spiritual, divine beings living a physical life in this moment.
This one's momentary. The spiritual side of things goes on and on, you know? And so many of us put all of our eggs in this basket right here.
Yeah,
And we do talk about being in the here and now. I mean, it's important.
it
There are
is.
lessons in this life, and we're here as a collective unit to learn these
And
lessons.
beyond that, throw it boil it down to this. There's no fucking way in the world that a divine entity, be it a combination of all of us or one supreme being up there, there's no way in the world that we would create cognizant life to be drudgery, to be trauma, to be hurt,
Yeah.
to be pain. That is an accumulation of generations of shadow suppression and trying to bend to the wills of
Other men.
other men versus bending to the will of your own divine being. And I'm not saying you have free will to willy nilly go out and do whatever the hell you want, because as a true divine being, we understand that our freedoms stop where yours begin. Who we are, energetically speaking, we are separate. We are divine. We are sovereign. What we want to be able to do is open ourselves up so those frequencies can start doing this
Yeah.
and this versus this.
I'm just like, get on my boat. My boat is open. You can jump right on. There's a big deck on the back. You can.
Lash your boat to our
Yeah,
boat.
yeah, but like if you're gonna be paddling in the other direction or fighting, I'm trying to go this way, Grimm's paddling this way, and you're trying to no, like let's all go with the flow together. And if I'm saying
And
do
chart a
your
course
thing,
together.
but if you're not on my boat, that's okay. Just keep going down the river. I'm just not gonna wait for everybody anymore. That's
That's a
what
good
I'm
way to
saying is
put it.
I gotta guard my energy. I've been sick a lot this last year. A lot of you know this. I know that when I do work with people, I am, some people might call it, there are different names for it out there. I'm not going to throw one of them out there because I don't want to get into a whole other topic. But a lot of times when we heal, we take on the energy of that person, and even if it's just temporarily, we hold it for them while they heal. And um, if I don't routinely let
Maintenance.
go of and do maintenance on that energetic exchange, I end up getting sick in my own belly. And I've just been, there are people that I have been holding the line for so long that I'm just, it is, I'm finding it's just time to cut bait and swim, and I'm afraid it's that time. I'm afraid it's that time. So I hope that you're swimming with us.
Huh?
I hope you're going in the same down the same river because I love y'all. And I'm not saying I'm gonna, adios into the sunset. That's not my plan. I'm
No,
staying
that
here.
and I know everything that you're saying right now is ringing true to your heart, and I get what you're saying, but I also understand this.
Next
And
week I'll be texting 500 people.
no, not necessarily that, not necessarily that, but I
Okay.
do know that in time of true crisis, a time of true pain and hurt, any one of those persons were to
Oh,
reach out, you'd stand right up.
absolutely. And please don't judge yourself to be one of those people unless you talk to me about it. And if you think you might be one of those people, ask me and I'll tell you. I told a gal the other day, she was talking to me about something, and I said, and this is not like me, but I said, unfortunately, this is where I dip out of the conversation. And she said, why? And I said, because what I have to say next is not something that you're ready or willing to hear. And until I know that you are, I'm not going to say it because I've already said it and I get beat up about it. I am not a battering ram while you figure out your spiritual shit.
Yeah, knock down the castle
I,
wall on your own.
so that's just, I'm just drawing a line
Don't
in my
use that.
sand. I'm just drawing a line and I'm encouraging you all to do it too. You might not be at, at the level of with your confidence or your skills and gifts yet. You might not be doing readings and healings and classes and stuff like we're talking about, but wherever you are on that spectrum of healing and way showing and as a guide, wherever you fall on that, remember you're not responsible for everyone.
And if
We're all responsible for
and if
ourselves.
we want to see the world change for the better, it starts with us changing individually for
And
the
that's
better.
that's what got me thinking. I started thinking about how I'm always out here talking about high vibration and choose, the higher perspective and blah blah blah. But I daily go down these deep dark holes where my energy is brought to,
A screeching halt.
and I've got to, sometimes after a reading I am like brain foggy for a while. Sometimes I'm hungry, sometimes I'm exhausted. um, it just depends, but I'm working on, I don't want to be that way anymore. I want it to
You want to
be,
get back to where you can step up from a reading as natural as stepping up from
well,
typing a. It should you shouldn't be drained after a reading, is what you're saying.
right, but a lot of people are,
Are.
but I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
And I know that part of it is that the people that I'm interacting with, you know they're not doing it on purpose, and bless their hearts, I'm glad they're reaching out. But I'm just going to have to start drawing my boundary sooner. And and I want people jumping on the boat that are, already swimming in this direction so that we can all figure out the next step.
So I think the moral of the story for all of us is this.
Oh.
When Gussie reaches out to you randomly and out of the blue, just asking a question of how are you, that is not an invitation to strike out with vitriol and hatred. Just because you're mad at the world does not mean that Gussie is here for you to beat upon. It's not acceptable.
And it's not, well,
No, I'm talking to one person
you
in
are
particular.
talking
I am
talking to
talking
one.
to one person in particular right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, you are.
You are a person that we both love dearly and deeply. You were there for us in a time when we weren't all ready to understand who we are as a friend unit.
Mhm.
Gussie and I are sitting on the sidelines from this point forward, and we're going to watch how you continue to play your game. And if you keep playing the game with your old set of rules, you'll be playing it alone. But if you're willing to adjust your rule set in just one area, and that is the rule of changing perspective, seeing other perspectives.
Yeah, that's where it starts. That would require empathy from
Mm-hmm.
someone else. And so that's like, when you think about it, that's a real narcissistic behavior.
It is.
I mean, I know I hate to say that out there, and I would probably not say this to their face, but if they happen to be listening, I mean,
And it's
you got to,
unintentional.
yeah, no, right. It isn't like it's a choice that they've made, but at all. It's just, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of topics today, a lot of different
Words that hurt come from
turns and
hearts that
twists.
are hurting.
Yeah, that's very true. We haven't said that in a while. I should write that one down again. That used to be in our quotes. We had a little quote
Well, I don't know where that quote
book.
thing went. Hearts or words that hurt come from hearts that are hurting. And we have a showing to go get
We
ready
do.
for, so I'm going to say sayonara
Okay,
right
well, I'm
now.
going to say sayonara too. We
Okay.
can say, oh no, but I got to go through all
Go
the,
through the thing.
right. So I'm
And you
going to
don't
keep
want to
you here
move.
for just a little bit longer. I don't even know. Is there anybody here with us?
There is.
How do you
You don't want to
tell?
move pews anyway. 18.
Oh, well, that's not bad. Okay, well, then I'm going to keep you up. And yeah, you're right. I don't want to move pews. You can do that. Anyhow, just a few notes about moving forward. I'm so excited about the movement I see in the purple door. And I think part of that is because I truly am changing my perspective on how I'm interacting in there. And hopefully, you will see a little bit more of me because I'm going to be doing a little bit less giving away to the emotional vampires that seek out my advice daily that I have been trying to help for so long. That as long as I'm getting something in return, energy exchange wise, we're good. But it's when I'm not getting anything back and it's just depleting me, and I find myself in the same routine over and over again. That's where I got to sometimes draw the line. Hi, Mist. Um, so, anyways, I'm so excited about all the movement on the Purple Door because when we started those guilds, we had this big vision, but it really has taken a long time for them to kind of churn. And it took us a little bit of finding the right people because this isn't a business, right? This is a connection of energies. We have to have the right energies in place. So, which is kind of like a business, but nobody's getting paid. So we're all just doing this because we love what we do and what we teach and how we feel about this community. But I've loved that there's more steam picking up at the 9 p.m. pause for peace time. I see more and more witches going in there and putting little words in about what time they paused, even if it isn't just at 9 p.m. It doesn't matter. Pause at 9 p.m. your time. Because remember, or anytime, when you can pause for peace, and just send it to that collective energy that we've got rolling around the globe right now because we're all focused on peaceful, loving, harmonious energy and trying to bring some balance to it with everything going on in the world. And every time I go on the Purple Door and I see people are interacting with Susan, I think even Susan made a comment about it's great to see more people responding at that pause for peacetime. So don't forget that's important. That is energy flow. That's releasing your own shit every day. That is a reset moment for yourself. So don't take it for granted. Also, I know Grim and I were supposed to do our first Monday of the month, but like I said, my energy has just been low, and I've been dealing with my stomach problems again, like I've had, and a lot of things have been coming clear to me. And as high priestess of my coven, I need to take good care of myself because I am responsible for all the folks in my community that are, that come to me for advice. But this is where I am drawing my line in the sand. If we've been working on the same topics for 5 years, I am not the healer for you. You need to go find someone else. If it's the same stuff and you're not getting anywhere, then I am not doing you any favors. So I just I just really want to, this time is time for a fresh start, right? Fresh starts. And yeah. So we are still going to do a live stream, Grim and I, where we are going to ask you to, if you want to share initials of people that you know need some healing or blessings in their life. We're going to do a cast on that one of these nights here real soon. It's just going to be a last minute, if you know kind of thing. But in the meantime, keep that list running. If you know folks that you'd like to have their names, at least their initials read, we're going to do that. I know we didn't get to do our first Monday of the month. Like I said, our focus for the month of February is really on the word karma. So we'll be talking more about that as the month goes on. Don't forget to jot down on the 28th of February is our Purple Door Witch Wave. And I very, very much am convinced that things are going to be flowing well, and I will not be ill, and there will not be anything keeping us from carrying out a positive 420, excuse me, Purple Door Witch Wave. I got too many words in my head. There are many ways for you to get involved, and nobody is telling you that you shouldn't. Please, please join us. There's not just Grim and I, but there's so many Purple Door Guild leaders and other folks out there that involve themselves in the community that are a wealth of knowledge, whose magic I trust. And I can't encourage you enough to find where you fit. I love the guilds. The guilds are growing. The Artisan Guild. If you're an artist out there, Mondays you can share anything you want on the Artisan Guild page, and then share it into the Purple Door. Mondays are for Market Mondays. We want you to explore your artistic side. We want you to explore your creativity. So share it with us. Share it with the Purple Door and let other witches see what you're making and what you're doing with your life, what you're doing with creativity. That's our connection to the divine. Today is Wart Cunning Wednesday. Wart Cunning Wednesday is a brand new wart out today, and I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Um, but it's one that almost everyone has in their spice cupboard, in their alchemy cabinet, and that's why I love this one, because I use it a lot. I use it a lot for a lot of things, not only magical purposes, but for health purposes as well. But it's a really good one, so check out the Purple Door Herbalist Guild for Wart Cunning Wisdom this week. And oh, I got a trip back one day. Yesterday was our Tarot Tuesday day in the Purple Door. Tarot Tuesday is really going to be focusing on more forms of divination than just tarot. But for now, I shouldn't say just for now. Grim had written a post a while back that we've been doing Tarot Tuesday for 5 years. Oh no, my friends. We've been doing Tarot Tuesday since 2015. And I think we've only maybe missed 1 or 2 Tuesdays through that time span. So I'm really proud of us for continuing that and still getting a lot of participation out there. I just love my family. I love you Purple Door Witches, and I I'm so glad that I have a place that I can share my feelings to when I need to. And I always do it hoping that somehow you'll understand and connect and say, I feel you, Gussy, because that's just what we're about. We're about withstanding together. And so it is. Stay magical. Love y'all.